right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9.
On first down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. Third down here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, and he'll be brought down by the Colts.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And take it right at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Jameis to throw it. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. And even 60 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Hill, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw is Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and...
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Ready? 56. Let's go, defense.
On 3rd down, Hines. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that Puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down past the 30. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the air now with Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Texans 3.
Ready? White 25. Follow.
Mike 52.
Ready to go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston letting one fly deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Watson, he's got Fuller. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Check, 59, 59. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Iron him up.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to go for it all. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Wait. Double up. He's coming, double up.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Nyheim Hines. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Started to look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Hey, 50 the mic, 50 the mic.
On 3rd down, Winston. Cooper's got it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Watson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting to 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. He's letting this one go for... That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans have taken the lead. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
A 13-yard gain brings up 3rd and a yard.
2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They run with Hines. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Ready? Move ready.
Mark's 56. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
To throw, Winston. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Hines. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
First down, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
At the Texans' 21-yard line.
4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. To throw is Winston. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Play fake. Winston under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's 2nd down.
So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ready. Black 25 behind. Green, triple T. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day offense. Let's go.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Ready. Black 22.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
They'll run on 1st down. Hines. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, boy.
They'll try to throw now. Winston to the right side to Eric Ebron. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On first down, it's Hines. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 37 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Let's go. Shoot. 81. Check 15.
Flip it. Alert three. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. It's Hart. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hart. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Now Bullock to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Watson, and the catch made by Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, it's Watson. Staying on his feet. Looking long for Thomas. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 6th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Colts on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Winston. Short little throw to Ebron. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Winston to throw for it on 4th. Able to find Deion Kane, complete. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Jameis now on 1st down. Catch made here by Campbell. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 2nd down, it's Hines, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Kill.
Now it's Hines. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 44-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Easy. All day, defense. All day. Mike 56. Mike.
Winston now. Campbell making the catch. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
56. Mike, 56, right there, right there.
Here's Hines. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a first down in field goal range already. On first down, Hines. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Check 43.
They'll try to run with Hines. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready, Black 25.
It's our time. It's our time.
They run again with Hines. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line.
Ready. Black 22 cut.
Mark 56. Hey, here we go.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Indianapolis, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Houston, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.